Hello and welcome back to the railway. Today we're going to have a look at trying Hornby's terrific model of the Type 3 English electric diesel locomotive, model number R.751. Firstly, we've got to put a few things away on the layout. So we've got the EM2 there with a load of freight just going through points number 9 onto the inside line. In this livery, she was available from 1961 to 65 and she was model number R.351. We're just going to bring her forward here at points number 1 and bring her gently to a stop. There we go. And we'll open those and we'll take her back into the siding there and we'll take advantage of the uncoupling ramp there. Gently back in, bring her to a stop and hopefully we've uncoupled. There we go, successful. And out and beyond points 1 again. And we'll switch those and we'll take her back beyond points number 18 there and we'll be able to move her back into the sidings. And we've got a gentle stop just there. And then we'll switch points 18 and move off towards the sidings. Station looking absolutely terrific in the background there. Look at that lovely shot. The Type 3 diesel just waiting to move off there on the right. Now she was available in this livery from 1966 to 67, although she was first announced in the catalogue in 1965. By 1968 she'd become rail blue and stayed that way till the early 80s, when there were a number of different liveries available. Now we're going to bring her to a stop just after points 11 here, and then we'll switch those and we'll take her back into the station there and hook her up with the Pullman coaches. We'll close 11 there and then we'll open points number 8 crossover, and then we'll move the M7 with suburban coaches onto the inside line. The M7 in this livery was available from 1967 to 1970, and we'll switch points 8 again, open number 11 and then number 12, so we can put this rake of coaches and the M7 alongside the Type 3 with the Pullmans there. Very well behaved through those points, and a gentle stop. And we'll switch 12 and then we'll take out the Type 3 with the Pullmans. Lots of coaches here, we've got the full set, very well behaved through the points, and we'll switch those behind them. We'll just have a swift look at the box. It's a trying Hornby box, as you might expect, but we've got one end flap missing sadly, so we'll have a look at the other end. This is in fairly good condition apart from the missing end flap. And here we've got the model number, R751, Cocoa Type 3 Diesel. That's just a sticky paper label, and the price could have been written there. For a model that was designed in the early part of the 1960s, there really is a tremendous amount of detail on here. Just look at this roof, it's painted out in grey and it's full of detail. We've got this huge vent here, a couple of horns moulded in over the cab. The front end of this model has a very distinctive shape. It's really accentuated with these cab windows. Just look at this wonderful shape. We've got lovely hatches moulded into the top of the bonnet here, handrails down the side, possibly lamp details on the front, and this very, very bright yellow warning panel here. We've got the route code of 8H22 and great big metal round buffers just pushed into the plastic bodywork. Triang's D-shaped coupling, and we've got the buffer beam here between the two buffers painted in red. Looking from the side we can see this really distinctive shape again. That bonnet really is striking. Lovely cab windows, great detail down the side of the cab door here. A great big vent picked out in black and a tiny little window there. We have detail down the side of the body here which must be footholds or grab handles. Moving further along the model, there's plenty more vents to be had right the way along. Another tiny little window here, and the decal is still in really great shape, just like the rest of the model. Again, we have these lovely handrails down either side of the cab door. We can even see the handle there. The detailing is almost identical on the other end of the model, but the route code box forms part of the clip which holds the chassis onto the main part of the bodywork. We'll have a look at that later. Again, we've got a similar detail right the way down the sides. You can see the BR decal on this side of the model is also in great shape, and we've got some underframe detail here, possibly the battery box, This is the dummy bogie on this end, and we've got the metal motor bogie here. Just look at this terrific detailing on the roof here. This model was designed pre-1966. I think this is really terrific, and it must have been pretty good because they kept the body moulding in use right through to around 1984. The other end of this roof has slightly less detailing, but what there is gives a really great effect. Just look at these two horns here, and then we've got these lovely hatches on the top edge of the bonnet there. They just look terrific from this angle. She also does have the magnesium. This is going to be a real benefit to the pulling power. Just look at that. It seems a shame that a great looking model like this was only available for such a short period of time. And I suppose at that period everything was going rail blue, that corporate image. During this time, 66 to 67, this model was in the RS9 Intercity Express train set. And she came with the model as we see it here today, along with 2 Pullman firsts and a single Pullman brake. I thought I'd make the rake up a little with 2 extra Pullmans. Now I've got the full set. We've got Jane, Mary, Ruth and Anne. Even though they have different names, they all carry the same catalogue number, R228, and were available from 58 to 73. The brake coach, car 79, was model number R328 and was available from 1960 to 1973. The sound that motor makes is absolutely terrific. It's really powerful. That magnesium really giving it an advantage on that steel track. And the wheels just make a wonderful noise rolling across that bridge. The motor bogie has dummy wheels in the centre and drive wheels at either end. The drive cogs seem to be a type of nylon, and this bottom plate is just held in with these 4 screws. And we've got the underside here of Triumph's D-shaped coupling held to the motor bogie with just a single screw. The dummy bogie has a full set of wheels. They are sleeved and the axle boxes are closed, which is quite a nice touch. And the coupling is just riveted straight into the moulding. Here we can see the securing screw that holds the chassis to the body, and we've got Triumph's name and the model number R.751, built in Britain. There's a single screw securing the chassis to the body, and then it just clips in at one end on the root code. So if we just lift off the chassis now and just slide that off, we can see the hole in the end of the model there. We'll have a look at the other end of the chassis in a moment. There we can see the root code, which just protrudes through the body to help hold it in place in conjunction with the screw. We'll just put that to one side. Now I have added quite some weight to this, as this end of the model did tend to ride up on the points. This extra weight there has stopped that altogether. Just looking on the underside of the body here, we've got a number here which is S6834, and then we've got the securing boss here where the screw goes to. There's a tiny crack in it, but the metal insert there is still held in place nicely, so we can get a snug fit. Just looking further along the inside, we can see the separately fitted glazing units. We've got the strip on the side for the windows. We'll just have a look down the further end there. We've got the other glazing unit. You can see the holes where the back end of the buffers may just protrude through a little. I think this brass base is quite important, although it always does fall on the floor when I take the model apart. It just prevents the model being screwed together too tightly and causing damage. The motor bogie is held onto the plastic chassis with this spring clip, and the warning label here tells you to slide the spring clip to remove the motor bogie. If you undo this brass screw here, the motor bogie tends to fall apart. So there's the main part of the chassis there with the motor removed, and as I said, I've added weight. Triumph have already added a weight, but it wasn't enough to stop the front end of this bogie riding off at the points, unfortunately. But this extra weight has solved the problem completely. This is called the Mark 7B motor bogie. This was also used on the Brush Type 2, model number R357. The Mark 7A motor bogie was the same mechanism but different side frames, and was used on the EM2, model number R351. This brush seems to have been repaired at some point. There's some sort of nasty soldering there, but it does work. It works very well, so there's no point in taking that apart. Here we've got the traction magnet at the one end here and the worm. I'll just turn it around, and we've got should be able to see the traction magnet back there again. just in there. We've got these pickups on all four wheels, and these wheels are mounted on as like a nylon axle with the drive cog. Let me just turn that around, you can see that. And they just rest into the side frames. We've just got a little white grease here just to reduce the friction. By the time the early 70s come along and the Hornby Railways period begins, she gets an extra pickup on the dummy bogie. This helps enormously with smooth running, especially over the points. In 1977, the model was redesigned slightly to accept the new Wingfield motor, and this brought with it finer scale wheels and traction tyres. And she remained this way through the rest of the 70s. By the time the early 80s came along, she was being issued in different liveries, and with these came different catalogue numbers. Just look at that, effortless climbing up the incline there, just a wonderful noise, really powerful model. We had a look at these Pullman coaches just a short time ago, so we'll have a quick look at them again today, perhaps not in quite so much detail. This is the Pullman first coach, model number R.751, and she was available between 1958 and 73. Now this one's got the name Anne on the side. You could also have Ruth, Mary and Jane. And this is the brake coach, model number R.328, and she was available slightly later from 1960, but also through to 1973. And she seems to have always been car 79. We'll just have a quick look down the sides of the coach here. Those lovely oval windows there on the ends and on the side. And this one has that beautiful effect on the glazing there. Look at that lattice work. I think that's excellent. Now these coaches date from 1958. I think this detail is just fantastic. We've got the detailing on the roof there. Nice white roof. Some of these roofs tend to go a little bit in a cream type colour. I don't know whether they use two different shades of plastic or not. Look at the tables in there, they're all set as well. We've got pink lampshades in this one. Some of the coaches came without coloured lampshades. And again, we've got that lovely lattice work in the window there. Oval windows on the end here again. Great detail on the end of the coach. Metal buffers just pushed into the plastic coach body. And here we've got sleeved wheels and open axle boxes. We'll have a swift look at the brake coach here. Again, we've got these lovely oval windows on this end. Same excellent detail right the way down. Interior detail. All those tables are set with pink lampshades. And we have this wonderful double door here on the guards compartment. Again, we've got a nice white roof on this one. As I said before, sometimes these roofs appear to be a little bit on the creamy side, so I'm not sure whether they fade or discolour or whether they did use a cream type plastic at some stage. But on the end of this coach we do have rectangular windows on this brake coach. Again, same detailing here, metal buffers. And again, we've got open axle boxes and sleeved wheels. Now the underframe detail is shared on these coaches, so we've got Triang's name on it. And we've got Made in England. And we do have the model number incorporated into the plastic work there, model number R.328. When we were looking at this coach a few moments ago, I didn't point out the fact that somebody's painted extra detail onto these table fittings. I think Triang only ever painted the lampshades in pink, so that's an extra thing that somebody's done at a later date. Now these slots which appear here and here, these were added to accommodate the South Wales Pullman name boards which were available between 1961 and 63. They also appear on the brake coach here, and they were catalogue number R.751. I think this is a great collection of models together. It just makes a really great train, really good fun to have a look at. Now as she approaches the downward section of the incline, we're going to have a wonderful shot of her coming directly towards us, past the high neck sitting in the sidings there. And she does just look stunning coming towards us like this. As she passes under the incline section now, she's going to approach the station shortly, and we're going to open points number 8 and bring her onto the inside line. See how she does through the points there, with all those wheels It's a recipe for a disaster, really, isn't it? But nicely behaved, and with closed up points behind her. Just listen to the sound of that motor as she pulls all those coaches along. It's a very heavy load. I think that's about it for this week. I'm going to leave you this time, I think, with page 4 and 5 of the 1966 catalogue. There's a terrific image there of the Intercity Express train set, the RS9, along with some other really terrific looking models. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye now.